The mind-gut connection is that $10 million question that everybody wants to know about. What is it, and what does it mean for me? And truthfully, it's this inherent knowledge that we all know about how our bodies are not separated from the brain to the rest of our body.
So much of health begins in the digestive tract. That's where the immune system learns to fight infections. That's where the metabolism decides what your body type is going to be like. It's such a complex system, and so many people have to come together to really understand how to use the knowledge that is really, quickly accelerating in the scientific world to translate it into health. Hoag really takes the best of what we are learning in academic medicine, but really wanting to bring it to the community in the most quick, the most advanced way possible.
When a patient comes to the Digestive Health Institute, they should expect a comprehensive evaluation. And this will be providers inquiring about these major pillars of their being, the mind, the body, and the spirit. As we start to understand the components that are unique for each patient's care, we start to build that team around the patient. And this would mean linking a patient to a medical provider, potentially a surgical provider, dietitian, care counselor, a chaplain, a physical therapist. We are layering on the care for each patient to create the most profound healing environment that we can imagine.
Hoag Digestive Health Institute is a brand new collaboration. We have multiple specialists here that we never had before in one area. We oftentimes refer out to other areas of Hoag, but now we have everybody under one umbrella. We can talk to our neighbor about what's the best treatment plan for the patients going forward.
My desire to be here at Hoag has been its mission to really continue to build and provide the best facilities for patients. And I think, especially with the development of the Digestive Health Institute, I think Hoag has really been able to provide what is needed and be ahead of the game when it comes to providing care for their patients here. Especially for patients who have chronic liver disease. It's a very difficult disease to have, and it does really require additional support for the patient, and I think that's where family gets plugged in. I often really enjoy having visits, not just with the patient, but a family member who's there to really help educate them about what is their disease and how Hoag can provide the best care for them during those visits.
What's really, I think, exciting in this area is knowing of the strength of the mind-gut connection. So, for instance, for inflammatory bowel disease, there's more and more research that suggests that stress can actually flare up this disease, just because stress, we know, impacts the immune system, right? And this is a disorder of the immune system. Just as important as the medicines, just as important as diet is really addressing how patients are doing from a mental status and how they're coping with the stress of life, right? Life is stressful, and how that impacts their gut, I think, is just as important as anything else we do.
Everyone's journey is different, and we get some patients who are doing well and then they suddenly have a flare-up, and that's when our doctors and nurses can connect with me and invite them to come in for what we like to call wellness sessions, where I'm able to help decide with them what's causing the added stress, what are the new stressors that are impacting not just their health, digestive health, but also their mental health, and support that whole wellness journey.
As a dietitian, I conduct a nutrition assessment. So the patients and I have a one-on-one appointment, and we go through their nutrition history. We talk about their different food preferences, any allergies or intolerances, and then really just depending on what the patient's goals are and what they're really here for me to see them for, then we set specific nutrition recommendations and goals for them to focus on. We work on a lot of behavior and lifestyle changes, but also just working on healthful lifestyle as far as stress management, diet, exercise, kind of that whole body approach that we really look for in a healthy lifestyle.
We are not patients first. We are human beings. We are husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, children, and that we have stories.
I think the most important thing is for our patients to not feel like a patient when they have to meet with me, but rather like a person, and that someone understands what they're saying, takes the time to listen to them, and just lets them sometimes process and unpack what they're going through, because so few people get that time, especially in the medical world.
Digestive disease is one of those things that people can feel isolated, like they're the only ones that have this. There's sometimes embarrassing symptoms or things that people don't want to share, but I think hopefully we bring this into the light, so to speak, and show that it really does take a village, and this is really the place for that kind of team approach to helping patients feel well.
Unfortunately, digestive health institutes are not very common. I think the best approach for any treatment and therapy is to have a group of experts talking about it.
People will ask me, can you really heal if you cannot be cured of a condition? And the answer is yes, because what we're looking for is a sense of well-being, bringing a sense of hope, finding peace in our lives. And that's possible no matter what the circumstances are. But it involves having a team around a patient that can support them through these challenges. So I came to Hoag to be a better healer. I'm a surgeon by nature, and of course, I love the opportunity to use my skills, but when I can care for a patient and provide that whole being care, I feel like my mission in life has been met.